Hello and welcome to the Wrestling Corner, episode number 11. Today, we're going to do our regular thing for AEW, NXT, Raw and SmackDown. But obviously, if you haven't seen it, what are you playing at? It has been WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania season. Well, it's gone and passed, but it was WrestleMania 36 season. It was the 2-day event, no crowd. Was it bad? Was it good? What were the most memorable moments? We will talk about that. But as usual, I'm joined by my regular co-host, Simon.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm quite happy. Well, I say I'm quite happy. I'm not going to be watching any wrestling for a while. I've just realised it's like NXT and not tomorrow. Oh, it's relentless.
But we're more or less wrestling out for a while.
I'd like to say I'm all wrestling out because I watched the 6-hour Wrestle Talk in Mania over the weekend. So it's not just like at WrestleMania because obviously there was no takeover, no Hall of Fame, and I don't watch the full Raw and SmackDown anymore. But yeah, I'm quite
tired. Yeah, but we'll just go straight into it. We'll start with AEW. So AEW announced the other bracket for the other side of the tournament. So the first one is Cody, Shawn Spears, and Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara. On the other side, it's Superbad Kip Sabian, who is recently engaged to Penelope Ford, so congratulations to him, against the natural Dustin Rhodes, and it would be Lance Archer versus Colt Cabana. So I think we all know who is winning that one.
I don't think... Oh, that match or the tournament?
The match.
All right, I was saying, because I don't think Lance Archer will win. The
who
tournament,
do you think will win?
not the match.
Now that we've got the full bracket, who do you think will win?
Lance will... I'd say Lance gets himself disqualified. Like, he just doesn't stop beating people down.
Okay. I think he'll beat Colt Cabana convincingly. Not convincingly, but he'll beat him quite easy. And then in the next match, I'm guessing it'll be against Dustin Rhodes, because you don't want heel versus heel.
Yeah,
I'm guessing he'll just decimate Dustin Rhodes by DQ.
Decimate Dustin to the point where Cody has to make the save, but he gets himself disqualified.
Yeah, and then maybe Dustin can't wrestle. Lance can't wrestle, and we have maybe a last-minute qualifying between Kip Sabian and Colt Cabana. And I think the final, and on the other side, we might as well talk about it, I think Cody will beat Shawn Spears. Unfortunately, I think Shawn Spears should be I wouldn't be surprised if Shawn Spears does get the shock win, because I think Darby's going to beat Sammy.
No, you think Darby will beat Sammy? No, Sammy G wins. Because otherwise there was no point in Darby. Take it. We'll talk about it when we come to it. But the way Darby reacted after taking the pin on Darby, I feel like it'd be a waste to have him just beat Sammy Guevara. Like, I feel like Guevara gets a sneaky win. It sends Darby more angry. He just goes on a bit of a string of losses, and then he sort of goes down to come back up and just annihilate everybody.
Yeah, okay, I can understand. But the show did start off with Kenny Omega versus Trent, who was accompanied by Chucky T and Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy having a sign that had nothing on it, which was quite funny for his character. This was a great match. So I tuned in to watch this match, and it just proved why. Well, Trent is wrestled for nearly 16 years, and it just proved he's not underrated, but he can have a great match, and this was just one of them. Cody and Tony Schiavone were in commentary, and they was just putting over Trent like hell. Kenny's on a 6-match winning streak, and it didn't end there. The match, there were 2 minutes left of the match. Trent suplexed Kenny off the top rope and almost got the 3 count, the running knee. Kenny battled back with a knee strike and won with barely a minute remaining with the one-winged angel. It was more of a respect match, this.
Yeah, it was just... It were really good. At the time, it was probably... Well, no, even now, it's probably the best match that there's been in an empty arena.
In terms of wrestling match, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of wrestling matches and not short movies.
It was a great match.
I didn't realise Orange Cassidy was holding the sign the wrong way around.
I
didn't realise it had nothing on it. I thought he was holding it the wrong way around.
I
didn't know. It was only afterwards when I read it on Twitter, I thought, oh, of course it's got nothing on it. He's Orange Cassidy.
He fully lives the gimmick, doesn't he?
I
lives
fully laughed after that, but at the time it just didn't click.
So then after the match we had, the number one ranked Hikaru Shida versus Anna Jay, who was just like not a jobber but a new debut. Hikaru Shida won eventually after planting Jay on ahead. Shida has now won 7 of 8 last matches, and after the match, Britt Baker was on the ring side. Britt Baker took off a shoe and basically threatened to hit Shida if Shida came within Britt Baker's personal space, which set up a match next week. That Anna Jay has also just been signed. It got announced last night.
Yeah, I've seen that. I was really impressed with her.
One thing I like about interviews, these people have these test matches, and then they're like, okay, they got a good reaction, they were good in the ring. Let's sign them. I'm guessing she signed like a 3-month contract.
Yeah, but it's not often sort of a jobber, particularly in a women's match. I don't know why, but like it's not often I look and go like they've got something. But I was really impressed with Anna Jay. That sounds quite harsh, but like I don't know. I feel like usually women's jobber.
I know what you mean.
They don't get any offense in.
I think we've seen it a lot on the main roster. Cause the only people who have jobber matches really, Nia Jax and Asuka. When Asuka was on the bit, that's
obviously they don't allow their opponent to get any offense in. But Anna Jay got a fair bit in, which sort of made
it sort of allows to have this competitive match where not the veteran but the signed one can prove that they can have this good match where they, you know what I mean, like this, and it gives a chance for unknown wrestlers to have a showcase. After that, we did have a video package escalating the tension between Jake Hager and John Moxley. So in 2 weeks, it'll be Hager Moxley in the empty arena, no holds barred match.
This was good because it sort of had like it felt like it was a real sports kind of feel. Although I can't say I'm too invested in the match. Like I'm sure it'll be like really good and stuff. But yeah, this video package didn't do it any harm.
No, I'm not invested really in the feud, but I'm invested in the match. And I think if anyone can do a good wacky match, it is John Moxley. We saw in WWE. Pardon?
Why do you think it'll be a wacky match?
Not wacky, but it's like empty arena. They're gonna go around the arena out there. They've got to. Yeah. That's what I meant in terms of it's not.
It's better than Orton versus Edge. We'll
come on to it because I think we've got very contrasting opinions there. Then obviously Colt Cabana moved on to commentary because Cody has match later on, and it was Lance Archer versus Marco Stunt, where Marco Stunt deserves the biggest raise in the world. The things he did.
Yeah, he got decimated, like decimated more than a normal squash match would.
No, but that's why
it was insane. It was just insane.
That's why you have Marco Stunt on your thing, because he can. As we all know, he is not the strongest guy, not the tallest guy, but he's willing to do stupid stuff like in that match just to put over someone.
There was the big choke slam where he lifted him like over his head,
which is mental.
There was the
finisher.
His finisher. I can't remember what it was called, but
the blackout.
The blackout, yeah, sort of lifts him up above his head, but his body's behind him, and then brings him forward. I don't quite know how to describe it, but it was a big drop, and then he just threw him onto like Orange Cassidy after the
the Gun Club. Don't forget about the Gun Club. In fairness, I quite like Austin Gunn. There's something about him. They were there with Orange Cassidy. Got Marcus. Yeah. There's something about Austin Gunn which I really like, and I don't know why. Because he hasn't really wrestled.
I think he's annoying me.
Exactly, but I think he can be that annoying prick. Like, my dad's Billy Gunn. Like, I don't need to do much. Do you know what I mean?
He doesn't even have matches on Dark.
I know. I'm guessing they're just winning him in.
Yeah, I'm saying at the moment I don't really know why he's there. It's just a bit like bring your son to work with it.
True. After that, we did have another Dark Order promo. So Brody Lee stood at the head of a conference table. He ordered the members of the Dark Order to refer to him as Mr. Brody. One of the Dark Order minions was called yawning. Don't you ever yawn in front of me? It shows weakness. Now, it's been noted everywhere. I think they're taking it a bit too far now with the WWE disses. I think last week was okay. This one was quite obvious. We all know about Vince doesn't like yawning as it shows weakness, and they just said it. And obviously, go on.
Yeah, I wasn't too impressed with this. What Brody Lee's doing is good, but what Brody Lee is doing, he's not relevant to the Dark Order in any way.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like the whole join Dark Order, we are one. When they were running the video packages of all the minions beating that guy up, and then they take him to like the inauguration ceremonies and stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's just, haha, let's laugh at Brody Lee's old boss. It's a bit jarring.
The only thing that I feel like sticks from the original promos is this leader that we know about, and now that the leader's been revealed, he's actually been revealed to be a proper prick and sort of like a cult leader who can sort of do whatever he wants, and the minions will stay with him. I think that's what they're going. But I think the Mr. Brody thing, I'm guessing that's this is Mr. McMahon, and the yacht. I think it is just very obvious that they're dissing him. And I think a couple of weeks ago, some of them weren't as obvious, like it's a bit tongue-in-cheek. I think if they keep it up, this character will go down the drain very, very quick.
Yeah, I can see it losing momentum. But I think, well, they're smart enough to know how to keep it going, but it needs a good week this week.
Yeah, they do.
Do you like the Natural Nightmares?
I like the premise of it. I'm not a big fan of them, but I like the premise of Dustin Rhodes has took this guy underneath his wing. So that's what happened next. We had 8 and 9 of the Dark Order versus the Natural Nightmares. So, I'm about to say back and forth match. It wasn't. It was a squash match. The Natural Nightmares getting the win over one of Brody's minions. After the Exalted One, Brody walks out. He powerbombs 8 and just stared at 9 and sort of tried to say, if you fail, you get punished. I'm guessing is what they're going. And that's what it should be. I'd like that aspect. I just didn't like the promo.
Do you think it was important that they wrestled 8 and 9? So let's say you've got Brody Lee's number 1, Grayson and Uno 2 and 3.
2 and 3. Silver and Reynolds
4 and 5. So who's 6 and 7?
Randomers. I think that's what I think. Like, because they haven't managed to recruit anyone yet in terms of actual on the roster.
Right.
So, I know it's been teased a couple of weeks. So you've had like Nakazawa's been teased. Shima, QT Marshall was one of them, but they've actually not been able to sign anyone. Oh, one thing I remember. I watched a video of one of the PWG shows from ages ago. And I was looking, I was like, why do I recognize them two? And it was Alex Silver and John Reynolds. And I was like, oh, wow, they're actually really good.
Yeah.
So I sort of hope, not hope that they don't, I like them to see them actually wrestle if they would in PWG. So when I watched it, I was like, oh my God, they're actually a great tag team. And I'm guessing that's why they were signed, because of their PWG experience. But hopefully we get to see more of them. But yeah, I understand the numbers thing is a really good point, because let's say in 2 weeks we get 7 and 6, or 9 and 7, because 8.
Yeah, just random numbers, mix it up a bit.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that very much. I forgot about this. After this, we did a video package, played with Chris Jericho in his hot tub at home. He just did everything wrong. He poured a glass of the bubbler into a cup, but he just drank it out of the bottle.
Drank out of the bottle. So
he was wearing jeans. Yeah,
when he gets out of the pool, was wearing jeans.
That was horrible as well, because it just looked minging. So I think, and then all of a sudden you hear the buzzing of Vanguard 1, and they hovered overhead. Jericho again was apologising to Vanguard 1, gave him a baby T-shirt of the Inner Circle, and Vanguard 1 just flew away. And Chris Jericho produced the mic and went, "That little bastard stole my T-shirt."
But I think it was like dubbed over. Like I don't like. He didn't say it in the moment. Yeah, I think it sounded like they'd gone back and put the audio over the top.
Maybe, yeah, I might have to listen to that again. From one,
and then
to release the dogs.
My favourite bit about this that got like a proper like audible laugh from me was when he shouted, "Release the house!"
Release the house, and just the assortment of dogs he had. He had a Labrador, a Chihuahua, a golden like poodle type thing,
and some of them just weren't interested in chasing it.
And then some of them were.
It was like it's never been referenced that Jericho's just got an army of dogs, and when he went release the hound, I was like, all right, this is a bit different. And then
I'll be honest, what I was expecting was the inner circle to run out, and then it just made it even better way. It's just a bunch of random dogs. The thing is, it weren't like it were all the same type of dog like an evil leader has. You had strong dogs to quite feeble dogs. It just worked so well for Jericho.
Keep this feud out of the arena for at least 3 or 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. Just video packages.
It's got 2 people who can do it as well. Jericho and Hardy are great at these backstage stuff. So keep it going.
It's so better suited to just video packages.
Mm-hmm. After this, there was an update on Nick Jackson. And it was basically just Matt and Nick training in the ring at home. And Nick just said he's not ready yet. But on Being the Elite this week, they basically held their own show. We call Being the Elite Wrestling. Because they've got their own ring. And them two had a match against... Who did they wrestle? 2 people who are wrestling next week on AEW. I can't remember the names. They're wrestling a tag team next week, but the Young Bucks just on. And we had SCU versus Brandon Cutler and Peter Avalon as well. It was really weird. It was just an episode of Being the Elite, but it was quite fun.
Yeah, I've not heard about this.
Yeah, it was practically just another show. So it was all right. After that, we did have the main event, the American Nightmare Cody with Brandy Rhodes and Darby Allin versus Spanish God Sammy Guevara and the chairman, Sean Spears. Obviously, they had the 4 men in the first on the left side of the bracket of the TNT Championship tournament. Go on.
Honestly, right, so I don't know what it was about this match because it was far from his greatest showing. But you know when you just watch a match about a wrestler, like involving a certain wrestler, and then the penny just drops, and then all of a sudden you like become the biggest fan, right? This match, I had that with Sammy Guevara.
He's great, isn't he?
I don't know what it was about. Like I don't know why it was this match, but I just want to watch Sammy Guevara matches.
For me, it was the Kenny match.
Amazing.
He is, isn't it? He's not like
flashy, but he's not like oh my, he's the best wrestler, but everything just goes together. The look, the theme, the in-ring, the promo. He can do comedy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's so diverse. Like, it's not like, oh my god, he's just an amazing wrestler. He's great at wrestling. He's great a character. He's funny. He's a cocky heel. Like, he's more or less got everything, and I would like him. I'd like him to win. I don't think he will. I think it'd be Darby Allin, if anything. But
Cody's just Cody, and Darby Allin's getting there. Like, I think when Darby Allin eventually does have his big moment, then I'll become fully on board. Yeah. But Darby Allin does have maybe the most underrated move in all of AEW. That is it. Come over the top stunner that he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Should be a finisher.
In wrestling, there's so many moves that should be finishers and are just not. Like, Corbin's whole moveset for me should be a finisher.
See, lots of people say this.
Baron Corbin has got
maybe should, but apart from that,
he's got the 2 best finisher and signature combination of, I think, any wrestler. Like, the deep 6 just looks fierce, like the spin and the powerbomb, and then the end of days is just. It's the swing he gets, and it's not like a normal DDT. I don't know how we got into talking about Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
But
it's
speaking
like but it's a cool. End of Days is good.
End of Days is great. Basically, go on.
I was just going to call them up.
Yeah, go on. How you do it? No, you do it. It's fine. We're cool.
All right, cool. Yeah, it was a good tag match that seemed to go on for. I say it went on for quite a while. I don't think it did. I think it was like probably 20, 25 minutes. It just ran through quite a few commercials. Mm-hmm. But it was important to sort of note at the start that so Darby Allin was doing his normal sit in the corner, being all like Darby Allin before the match, and Cody comes out and he sort of tries to give Darby a helping hand up, and Cody's all come on, get ready.
Come on, you can do this.
Yeah, but not like encouraging like a cheerleader, just like just like the casual. All right, mate, you're ready to go, like just Cody being Cody. And Darby wasn't into it because he's all like emo,
moody emo.
And yeah, that's where the I wouldn't say that's where the finish came, but we cannot ignore when Darby Allin climbed to the top of a nearby pole.
Oh.
And just coffin dropped off onto Guevara and Spears. And I thought, when he was up there, I didn't know whether he was going to get enough sort of distance, whether he was going to fall short. He got it just right.
He's a wrestler who looks like he will just be your basic thing, and then he'll just bust out moves where you're like, oh, okay, he's going to kill himself tonight. Like,
it's not a smart move.
No.
And it's certainly not one that's going to prolong your career.
But if he gets the reaction that he wants, I suppose, he doesn't care.
Yeah, I can imagine Darby Allin someone who just wants
to do whatever
he'd rather
he wants.
Have a mental but short career rather than just a safe in that last stages.
And the finish, do you want to talk about?
Finish, so it was... Didn't go... I can't exactly find it here, but
I've got it here if you want.
Didn't Darby Allin throw himself in front of like a chair or something, saving Cody?
Well, so Cody took down Simon with a reverse suplex. Spears was ready to splash down on Cody. Spears pulled out a chair to use on Cody, but Darby made the save. In doing so, was rolled up and pinned by Spears. Cody reached for Darby out of frustration. Darby decked Cody clean. Ooh, tension going into the match.
So it wasn't like a beat down, nor was it a heel turn. It was just, nor was it Allin really being frustrated at Cody. It was just he was annoyed at himself that he got beat. And it's a nice little thing that fits right into sort of Darby Allin's character. Like, let's be honest, after Cody being turned on by MJF and then sort of getting beat by nefarious means at Revolution, being Darby Allin hitting him at the end of the Dynamite is hardly Cody's lowest point, so he didn't really sell it like he'd been betrayed.
No, he's just like, I understand, I'm wrestling him next week, sort of thing. It was a good episode of AEW for me. It had a blend of some decent stuff, and a solid 4 out of 5, very solid.
Agreed. What's next week?
Next week we've got the first 2 tournament matches, so Spears, Cody, and Alan Guevara. We've got a tag team match, which I think might be Natural Nightmares versus these 2 jobbers who run the Being the Elite Compound episode.
Okay.
I think that's all that's been... Oh, no, and Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker as well.
Oh, so there's a bit lined up.
There's announced quite a bit. But we will go on to NXT now on the same night, where the show opened up with the Velveteen Dream beating Bobby Fish.
I'm surprised they had Bobby Fish I knew he was going to take a clean loss, but do you feel like the Undisputed Era of not Adam Cole, but the rest of them have been on a bit of a decline in the way they've been booked ever since losing the property of gold? Like they feel like mid-carders again.
I think they had to... The problem is, when they've got the gold, you have to book them strong. And so now that they don't, they can book them however they want. It sort of works with the feud against Dream, because Dream is basically taking out nearly all of them. He's slowly taking back to get to Adam Cole. So after the match, you went, Adam Cole, you're next or something.
I don't know whether it's because they've got, there's quite a bit of fresh blood coming into NXT, and, they have got too many wrestlers for their own good. They could cut about half of their talent.
They could.
They're just hoarding. They've got, there simply isn't enough TV time and room on the card for everyone.
The problem is, do you call some of them up? Because you know they're going to get lost in the shuffle.
I just think they've signed too many people. You can say send them to NXT UK, but they've got too many people.
Mm-hmm.
205 Live. He's
You can have a few, but some like for me, Kushida is the main one who's not on both shows. He's not on NXT really, but if he was on 205 Live, I'd feel like for me he just wouldn't belong there.
Well, he was on it this week, wasn't he?
I know. You feel like a disservice if you were on it.
Yeah,
I know.
I know you really like Kushida. I quite like 205 Live, so I don't see it as that much of a disservice.
No,
I acknowledge it's not where you really want to be, but
I think
every episode's like really good. There's no storyline whatsoever. It's just here is 2 good wrestling matches.
I think it's because they don't even get on the pay-per-views, so people who don't watch 205 Live matches don't get a chance to see these guys.
There is no promotion for it whatsoever.
It's just like, this is a show. It's on after SmackDown. Yeah.
But, yeah, this
dream. Go on.
I was going to go back to this, sorry.
Yeah, so go
on. But yeah, it was like, I thought it was you who really likes Velveteen Dream, but it's Kieran, isn't it?
It's Kieran. I like Velveteen Dream. I think he's great, but he's slowly becoming diluted in terms of it's getting quite repetitive. I sort of want him to do something a bit different now.
I'm not as into him as I once was.
I think we just waited for the Adam Cole.
Yeah, whenever that may be.
Yeah. But yeah, correct result. Sam Roberts was on commentary, yeah. I think he did the whole show, didn't he?
Yeah. I didn't think he was as bad as a lot of people made out. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, I think he was just a generic person there. Was it with Mara or Nigel?
Neither. I think it was Tom Phillips.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, because Tom would have already been there. We have got a question. A question from Bembo. Well, not a question, a statement from Bembo Gamers in. I think Roman or The Fiend will win the Money in the Bank ladder match. It is a great shout.
Yeah,
it'll be very interesting to see.
I hate to just sort of not give an answer, but surely Money in the Bank can't happen.
I mean, we'll talk about it when we get on to the sort of end of WrestleMania. But thank you, Bembo Gamer, for that comment. Next up, we did have Dexter Lumis defeating the debuting Jake Atlas. I'll let you take this.
Yes, right. Dexter Lumis is fantastic. I've bigged him up for weeks on here, and he didn't disappoint. They've given it a C on Bleacher Report. I'm not happy about that. Right, the entrance, like he draws you in. It's the eyes. He doesn't blink. He just looks like a serial killer. His moveset, all right. I can see his matches aren't going to live up to the character, but when he looked like he was going to hit Atlas with a 619, and then just like sort of belly slid out of the ring.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Like class. His finisher. Someone's been watching a bit of CM Punk, haven't they? It was Luke, wasn't it? With that, it was like a side effect and then locked in the Anaconda device.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like an Anaconda device.
Okay. Do you want to give you my opinion on him?
Yeah, go on.
He's okay. He's got the look and the character. I just want to see it. I think the problem is, will he ever stay as this character? We've seen a lot where characters debuts is maniacal bad guy, and then they just become one of the others, and I'm worried for him.
What I'd like to make clear is I do not think Dexter Lumis is a main eventer.
Oh, wow.
I just think Dexter Lumis
You've just betrayed him.
If he was on main roster, Dexter Lumis would be in the 24/7 division. And you know what? That's fine, because I can imagine Dexter Lumis just in that. Yeah, like if he were to get onto main roster, it just won't work. Like they'd give him like an Eric Rowan Spider thing.
Yeah.
I know I won't be this sort of attached to Lumis forever, but at the moment, yeah. But the empty arena really helped it.
But yeah, because the eeriness of the character really blended through for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, roll on. whatever he does next week.
Yeah. After that, we did have Dakota Kai win a second chance gauntlet for the ladder match. Shotzi Blackheart was the one to really have a big showing in this. So she basically got Deonna Purrazzo, Xylee Kinnick, and Aaliyah. And then Dakota Kai came in, Raquel Gonzalez got involved, and basically Blackheart got distracted by Gonzalez. Kai tagged Gonzalez, boom.
Yeah.
So she just goes on to the ladder match, which is tomorrow, where you've got Chelsea Green, Mia Yim, Io Shirai, Tegan Nox, Candice LeRae, and now Dakota Kai. I'm looking forward to that match.
Were you expecting Blackheart to get so much here? Do you get Shotzi Blackheart?
I don't understand the character. She's good at wrestling. Is she like a cyberpunk goth type thing?
I mean, it's hardly my scene, so I'm not gonna.
Well, you tell me that you don't dress up in neon daily.
I don't.
Oh wow!
Not daily anyway.
All right, only on special
occasions. I feel bad for Aaliyah.
Nah.
She's in Tino Sabatelli territory, and she's just been there forever. Yeah. She's never come out of the developmental, except Tino will. Well, Tino's got an excuse. He was injured for 2 years. Aaliyah, I don't think has.
No, she had a broken nose, got it fixed, and then she was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I just say Aaliyah, I just think, like, surely one day she's got to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Before we move on to the next match, Benbow Gaming has just said Otis and Mandy Rose is the new Randy Savage and Elizabeth. I mean, we'll talk about it at Mania, but it's
the new what?
Randy Savage and Elizabeth.
Yeah, and it's hard to disagree with that.
We'll talk about it when we get to Mania. I loved it. After we did have
with it, we'll skip over SmackDown when it happens.
Yeah. Then we had Kushida defeating Queen Wild. Again, getting Kushida a win. Go on. Do you want to talk about it?
What, this?
I mean, what happened?
Yeah, I do. I'd love to talk about
it. There we go. Go on.
You were referring to. Yeah, so after me probably unnecessarily ranting about how we didn't follow up on Raul Mendoza, after this match, we witnessed the worst kidnapping I might have ever seen. So the luchador got, well, as soon as they went to the parking lot, I did think the car park. I did think, oh yes, please, I'm just waiting for the car to roll up. Then the luchador went out, and where's with Mendoza? They shoved him into the car quite forcefully. Here they just went, get in the car, we're keen, and he went, what? Okay, where are you taking me? Didn't put up any fight. Not that matters, because this storyline's going somewhere, and the kidnapping, they're gonna create like a lucha empire. Even though they're not, he wrestles like a luchador as well, but he isn't one. I'm all for it. I love it. Dexter Lumis and the Lucha Empire.
Last week you complained you wanted a good Dexter Lumis show and you wanted a kidnapping, and you basically got them both.
I got them both. I can't complain. Back to the match. It was really good. It was just two wrestlers do the wrestles very well.
Who were overshadowed by the kidnapping.
Yeah, she won with an armbar and Wild got kidnapped. Perfect.
Easy. Boom. And we did have the main event, which was the North American triple threat: Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic and Damian Priest. I'll let you. You're more of the NXT guy, so I'll let you talk about it.
All right. Okay. I was watching this, just thinking. I was a bit. Sounds bad, but I was bored.
Is it because we've seen this match, the Dijakovic Lee match, quite a lot, and Priest Dijakovic? We've seen a blend of all these together quite often.
Yeah, I am quite tired of this combination. That's not their fault. And they do find new things to do every time. Like when Lee was using Damian Priest's body like as a steel chair, and power bombing him constantly. And I don't know. It was just lots of big meaty men slapping meat. But it just like Trent versus Kenny Omega in an empty arena really worked. This didn't. This just felt a bit sad. I don't know why, and it's not their fault. I'm not going to criticise them for it.
I think for me, it was just we'd seen this combination so much, and I think it has been affected because there were no takeover. I think this was going to be this big takeover match, which would have got a massive reaction with the crowd, but because it didn't, and they've had to do it, it just fell flat.
The finish was good. I really like that.
Yeah.
Damien Priest got his nightstick. Went to hit Dijakovic with Dijakovic reversed it. Tried to hit Priest with the Feast Your Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But Priest was holding the nightstick. Decimated Dijakovic's knee when he hit him with that Feast Your Eyes, and then Lee hit the Big Bang Catastrophe for the win. I'm surprised Dijakovic took another pin. But yeah, it was what it was. I think Cameron Grimes is probably next up.
Which will be alright. It'll be a different type of matchup instead of these big guys going. It's a bigger versus a littler guy. Could work.
This has got to be the end of this combination. It's not a bad combination, but there's only so many times.
It just can't go on.
Especially when there's so many new bodies coming into NXT. Mm-hmm. You've got to freshen it up. It's like Gargano and Ciampa. You can't just go back to the well. Do you know what I mean? You've got to keep mixing it up. But after this, I think they'll do it. It was. I asked for two things from this episode of NXT, and I got them both.
You got them, so you can't complain.
I can't complain. It was a fine episode. Was it better than AEW?
No, not for me. I think it's 3.5. If we're giving it a rating.
From in the general point of view, will be that AEW was better, but because I'm such a mark for Dexter Lumis and Lucha, I'm going to put them on a level pegging.
Wow. But again, it's your opinion. No, it's right. I understand. I don't.
Both shows are stepping up big time. NXT's was a month ago.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But we will go on. We'll do a quick, brief review of all this. So we had SmackDown next, so Miz TV descending to chaos. Basically, they all brawled. Miz and Morrison soon interrupted the ramp. Basically, it was a big brawl of who's going to win the match at the weekend. Big brawl after, and Miz and Morrison stood tall.
It sounds quite good. I can't remember it actually happening.
Yeah, it was just a typical WWE brawl. I think after the show, they announced it had been Morrison, Jimmy, and Kofi in the match because Miz was ill before. So they made it a triple threat ladder match between half the tag teams.
All right.
The biggest moment of the show, Tamina beat Naomi and Lacey Evans in a triple threat match. The Tamina train was rolling.
What a moment!
What a moment! That's a Mania moment.
Carrying that momentum into WrestleMania. Will she pick up the win? We'll find out.
After that, we had Tucker defeated Dolph Ziggler by disqualification. So what happened here? Oh, go on.
I'm saying, don't forget the casual affair of Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels.
Oh, yeah.
Neither of them were at WrestleMania.
Neither of them showed them. It was a good match. I suppose that's what you can take from it.
Yeah. I don't have any issues with it. But it was just a bit random. Carry on.
Then we had Tucker versus Ziggler. So basically, in height, this was going to match up. Ziggler grabbed his opponent, executed it as a zigzag and steel steps to injure Tucker, and then the match by disqualification. When he picked up the stairs to inflict more pain, Mandy and Sonya rushed ringside to stop him. By the time Otis hit the scene, the damage was already done, so that sort of took Tucker out for Mania. But then what happened was, like, a mysterious figure appeared on the Titantron, and sort of this figure that has been shining the hacking stuff into the shows and stuff appeared and went, I want everything to be right and stuff like that. And he basically showed a video of Sonya sending a message to Otis, then Sonya speaking to Ziggler saying, go to the restaurant, you can have Mandy. So basically it was Sonya, it wasn't Tucker, it was Sonya this whole time, sort of. She said she was doing it to help Mandy. She didn't want Mandy getting involved with Otis. Obviously, she's gone behind Mandy's back. So Sonya was the one there backstage, She conspired with Ziggler for the whole thing. Mandy ran off, and that's how that segment ended. It led to Mania, with Sonya being sort of on Ziggler's side. What are your opinion on sort of the reveal?
Do we think it... Right. If it's Mustafa Ali, cool, because that gets Mustafa Ali back on
His
TV.
hands have changed colour as well.
Yeah. Ali just... This isn't where he should be inserting himself.
No.
But we've spoken about this, and you think he should just be like the person who sort of makes everything fair?
I think it'd be cool if Mustafa Ali still was Mustafa Ali, and he had this gimmick, this alter ego where he was this hacker who would be trying to make all these things, because that's what he's been like. He's always been this good guy on the roster, and so maybe he's this hacking gimmick who gets all these tapes, appears on the show, and so when a bad thing is happening, so maybe like Gulak, maybe next week Gulak comes out and is going to start becoming the bad guy again, against Brian, doing some backstage stuff that Brian doesn't know. That's when the hacker comes out and he sort of goes, "Dad, this is what Gulak has done," and he's trying to set everything right in the WWE for them. I think that's what may happen with the storyline.
It makes sense, but call me cynical. I don't think they'll pay off on this.
For me, this is something I'm actually quite invested in, because it's something. It's a different gimmick. Obviously, I had it with Sami Callihan. What was this? Sunderland Crow in original early NXT, and so I like that this. It's a bit. We know he's babyface. I like there's a mystery of who it is. I don't want them to go ages without not revealing it. Maybe 3 more feuds that they interfere in, and then someone eventually goes, "Well, who are you?" And he goes, "It's me," or something like that. I just want it to be a good payoff, and I know I'm asking for a lot, but even if there's no payoff, even if it's just them keep on getting involved in feuds, trying to make it all right, I'll be very happy with.
What's his first match back?
Ali.
Pay-per-view?
Or the hacker. The hacker or person behind the mask.
Right, okay.
Because I think the hacker doesn't wrestle. And I think the person behind the mask is someone who is on the show consistently. So if it is Ali comes out in his normal gimmick, but we still have this hacker thing in the background as going. So it's sort of 2 gimmicks running together.
Fair enough.
I thought I'd go for it. It's something a bit different, and I like the gimmick. After that, we did have Daniel Bryan defeat Shinsuke Nakamura by disqualification. Basically, Zayn got the upper hand before the Mania match. Would that lead into the match? We'll wait and see.
Not much else to say.
No. And then basically the show ended with The Fiend stalking John Cena, which I quite liked. So he was on top of it was basically the 551 house were appearing all around the ringside. They all insisted that Cena was going to play with them forever after the Bray Wyatt is done with them. Then the Fiend appeared sort of up on the, what's it called? The stage thing.
The balcony, isn't it?
Appeared on the balcony, and then when Cena looked like he had it all under control, and then Wyatt just appeared behind him saying, "Let me in," and then lights went out. Wyatt vanished. Great build for the match.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it soon.
I'll let you take the 551 house match when it happens.
Oh yes, I loved it. But what do you think of SmackDown? I think it was just a good build-up episode.
It was fine, but they were still advertised. But Michael Cole just went, "Oh, and it's Braun Strowman versus Goldberg."
Yeah, it was announced on the tweet.
I'm sure he's literally against broadcasting laws. It's just false advertisement.
Yeah. I'm trying to think that I think you're right there.
Yeah, there's no way around it. It's they are a terrible company.
They should have announced it. That maybe just leave it on SmackDown's go, and Roman Reigns is unable to compete. They've chosen Braun Strowman has been decided as sort of something to sort of say he's in the match, but because it was just a tweet, you don't get anything, basically. But it was a SmackDown setup. It set up the Mania. No you complain about. But it's a moment we've both been waiting for. We're 45 minutes in. We're probably going to go for much longer, but we do have the Mania rundown. First, we'll start with night one. We'll talk about all the matches, all of our opinions, and then give a big rate for Mania. So the show started off with the kickoff show, which was Drew Gulak versus Cesaro. This is obviously night one. Basically, Cesaro picking up the win. There's not really much to say.
I'll get with it now. I was loading it up.
Yeah, there's not really much to say about this.
Right, yeah, I've loaded up night 2 grades. So I need to get night 1. I didn't realise.
Yeah, I'll talk.
It was a good match, and that aeroplane spin with no hands.
It brought it back, more or less.
Yeah, it went less than 5 minutes, so there really isn't too much.
No much to talk about. But the main show did open up with Stephanie McMahon. Strange thing, but she just cut a basic promo from the headquarters, just like, with everything going on in the world, we're still doing Mania. It's too big for one night. Welcome to WrestleMania 36. Boom, boom, fireworks. I quite like the stage design as well. So it was your typical, if you look straightforward, it was like Raw with the Titantron or Mania on. It was thing, but there was a lot more LED boards on like the sides, or like the Mania logo on and stuff, which looked cool. And then you had the ring, which was Mania'd up. You had some of the stuff on the outside, which was like pirate themed. Still stuck with the pirate theme, so fair play for them to stick in with the guns. And then you had the commentary desk where it normally is, but behind you had this big WrestleMania 36 boat logo, which was really cool. So I think for where it was, and the stage design actually looked really cool, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, it did all look quite slick. They made the best of a bad situation. The production was probably as good as it could have been.
But the show opened up with the Women's Tag Team Championship match, the Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss picking up the win with a Twisted Bliss off the top rope, landing a bit purely on Asuka's knees, but it still made connection. Quite a decent back and forth match. This match really benefited from Asuka and Kairi doing the trash talk in the Japanese, and with the no crowd, you could clearly hear them doing this talk. Nick and Alexa tried to be his babyface, give it back. Decent back and forth. I feel sorry for Kairi Sane, considering she didn't get to do a pirate entrance. But no, you could really much ask for good back and forth. Opinions?
It was fine. It barely had any build, nor was I really particularly bothered about anybody in the match. Not what I'd have opened with, but it happened. I'm not the.
And we've obviously got new champs now, so hopefully they can sort of have more opponents.
Yeah, there was only one women's match on the show that was booked well for me. We'll come on to it.
I think the biggest thing that comes out of this is it's rumoured that Kairi, Asuka, and one more. Is it Io? There's three female Japanese wrestlers who have all apparently been offered big money to go back to Japan. So it's rumoured that some of them may go back. So if it is poor Kairi for this being the first Mania match, and it was in the PC where she was for a while.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's not too much to say. Like I didn't know it was Kairi's first Mania match.
Yeah.
I don't. How has she even been on main roster for a year? I've lost all.
I think she debuted last year, just after Mania. Yeah, she had. Yeah,
she feels like she's been here forever.
Yeah, but yeah, that was the match.
I've just you lose all sense of timing when it's like a year out. Like a year in wrestling just seems so long.
And then we did have Elias versus King Corbin. So Corbin comes out and sort of cuts this promo saying, "Look at what I did to Elias. He won't be here." And he says, "Start the count," and didn't even leave it late. Hear the strum of the guitar. Elias comes out. I'm fine. Corbin goes to attack. Elias hits him with the guitar. Now they're all leaving, apparently. Elias is fine.
Elias is fine. What a WrestleMania moment.
What a moment. He came out. Oh, he's just got a bit of tape on his shoulder after being thrown off the balcony.
This was unnecessary and just I say boring. Like, If
They've got a long.
it was on Raw, we wouldn't be particularly impressed.
No, but they got a long time. It was a lot. It was at least a 15 minutes, 10-minute match. Longer than I thought they'd get anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a good thing.
No.
Just,
But we'll skip over.
If it had gone really short, I'd have probably been saying it's WrestleMania. It should have gone longer. But yeah, the answer is people. I just wouldn't have booked it.
No, Elias getting the win with a roll up after them in the match. So roll up win.
After this point, WrestleMania is off to a very underwhelming start for me.
And I think for me it carried on. But after this, we did have a big marquee match where it was Roman's champion Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler. So the start of this match was great, really a good back and forth. Shayna being this maniacal heel, trying to beat Becky down, Becky giving it her own back. There was a lovely spot where they're outside the ring where Shayna held Becky by her legs and was just whipping her into the announce table. Like, I think she did 10 times, just head straight into it, head straight into it, head straight into it, and just wouldn't stop.
Yeah, I can't remember any spots because I thought the match was really flat.
This match maybe could have done with a crowd. I think we'll look at some of the maybe a crowd, maybe not.
I just with it I'll wait until you get to the finish and then I'll talk.
Yeah. Well, I just remembered we did Mania predictions. I will just go on currently on what our results were. So first of all, we had the tag team match. You went for Kabuki Warriors. I went for Bliss and Cross. So I get a point there. We both went for Corbin, so no one gets a point there. Let me delete that match. And then we had Shayna, Becky. We both went for Shayna, so no one gets a point there as well. So it is a great start from both of us. Only 1-0 up. Yeah, it was it a roll up? Becky won by. I think it was, weren't it?
It was. She got Samoa Joe.
Yeah. Oh no, Kikina Clutch. Yeah.
Was it Bret Hart Stone Cold at Survivor Series? 19. I don't know. I'm not going to make myself look a fool. But it was a finish from you know which one I mean.
Yeah. It's the problem when you have a finisher like that you just don't have the same. When they decide that you're not going to win, that's how they'll do it.
You can say that this protects Baszler, but they sacrificed the entire women's division at Elimination Chamber. Like Baszler should have just mowed over it in about 2 minutes. You don't recover from your first WrestleMania loss. Bray Wyatt has needed a hell of a lot. Rusev,
he's had to have a new character for Wyatt to recover.
Yeah, like
I'm going to open the window if you keep on talking.
Whatever Baszler, it's a bit like I can see me being a bit like what happened to the Fiend when he got beat by Goldberg. It don't matter what he does or what Baszler does now. I'll look back and go, yeah, but you lost the big one when it mattered. Like, and that's all.
Right, I'm back. Sorry.
That's all. I'm just going to think, like, it doesn't matter what she does or what she says. You can just go, yeah, but you lost the big one when it matters.
You lost your first Mania.
So, yeah, at this point, WrestleMania was just...
I was still excited to his Mania season, but yeah, it wasn't going great. Does Shayna go back to NXT?
Will Shayna go back?
Yeah, or will she stay there?
Yeah. She's on main roster.
Shayna.
What is she going to do? I have no idea. We know what Becky Lynch is going to do because we'll come on to that when it's Raw.
But yeah, we had that. So then we had the Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan. Now, I quite like this match. Sami Zayn coming out the winner. So it was a shame we didn't get to see a Bryan Zayn like classic, but Zayn played to his character. You had Gulak on the outside for Bryan and Cesaro Nakamura for Zayn. It was more like Gulak was looking like I'm going to get involved, and Bryan went, "No, don't do that." and Cesaro and Nakamura were getting involved, and they ended up beating up Gulak, but Bryan and Zayn kept it in the ring. The finish came where Cesaro, Nakamura, and Gulak, I think, were outside the ring. Bryan goes for a running dive, and a haluva kick just comes out of basically nowhere. And so I'm glad that he actually used his finisher to get the win. 1, 2, 3 pins in. What do you think?
It wouldn't have made any sense if they'd have gone out and had a classic. I don't know why people were expecting that.
Because it's Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, but that's not what Sami Zayn's doing. Like,
I know, but
Sami Zayn is just spends half the match just escaping. And this finish really caught me off guard.
Same. I thought Bryan was going to kick out and Bryan.
And I thought Bryan was going to win. I'm not sure what I predicted, but I think.
So we both predicted. Wait, hold up. Where is it? So you went for Bryan, I went for Zayn.
Yeah. I thought Bryan would.
That's another point to me. I'm the Mania King, I tell you.
I'm not
the Mania King.
Like,
wow.
Zayn holding the title is fine. Like, it's not like Baszler versus Lynch where Baszler should have won. Like, here, either man could have won it. You could argue it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I'm just glad they didn't lose it, to be honest. I think that could have ruined him. But
and then,
we did. We have my favourite match of the probably maybe night one.
No,
maybe.
Oh,
I love a good ladder match, but we did have the SmackDown Tag Team Champion John Morrison versus Jimmy Uso versus Kofi Kingston, and these guys. It was like before the match they went right. It's just going to be a triple threat. You're probably not going to be working for another 3 months, so just go out there and just do anything you want. And that's what he did. So I'm just trying to remember the big spots. One where the Usos, one of the Usos, Jimmy was on the barricade. Morrison just yeeted a ladder at him and just took him out. Jimmy Uso was laid on a ladder. John Morrison looks like he's going to hit Starship Pain, but he does like a parkour flip onto the ladder. Kofi jumping off the top of the ladder and doing a drop kick, a stomp off the ladder onto Morrison. I'm just trying to think of the other ones. A Spanish fly off the top rope as Morrison and Kofi were on two sides of the ropes. Jimmy Uso was on the ladder between the barricade and the ring. They looked like they were going to jump off. Morrison just tightrope walks, Spanish fly onto the ring. Jimmy comes in and does a frog splash onto Morrison. And then the finish came where all three men were up on the ladders, separate ones. All have got hold of the gold thing with the belts on. They all unhook it, and then Morrison grabs the titles and just gets pushed off, but he holds the titles. So he falls back. He takes a horrible spot on the ladder, but he's got hold of the title, so obviously he wins. Quite a new spot that we don't see in ladder matches. He works well with the WWE style of them with the belts, and we actually have to have the belts. And so it's a spot he still takes the bump, but still keeps the titles. What do you think?
It was pretty much perfect.
Mm-hmm.
They went out and wrestled the same match that they'd have wrestled if you're in front of 80,000 people.
And with their tag team as well.
All the big spots. I really like Morrison's off the ring post hitting like it Starship Pain onto somebody.
I think when we were talking in the chat, and when we first saw it, we thought it was Starship Pain, but when you rewatch it, it's sort of a parkour flip.
Right.
It's sort of
because Michael was very keen to emphasise to us that it was parkour.
Yeah. Oh my God, he does a parkour.
Yeah.
Basically, how we sold it.
Everything was right with this match. The only little bit that jarred with me was, I think it was Jimmy got pushed off a ladder to the outside, and the camera just didn't show him land.
Yeah, the camera. Yeah, he was on top of the thing, and the camera just completely misses it.
Well, I'm not going to knock him for that. Like,
no,
they got everything else pretty much.
I love the ladder match, so this was one of my favourites.
Oh yeah, the tightrope Spanish fly that got a big pop. Anyway,
got a big pop from the people at home.
The finish was unexpected. Like I didn't see it coming.
No.
And then as soon as it happened, I went, "Oh, yeah, that's quite clever."
Because it's a finish we never see. Is the bad guys still being punished of having this horrible spot, but they still keep the titles on them. I think that's because you don't want New Day and Usos having the belt again this early.
I was never into. I never saw John Morrison. Like I started watching after his first run.
Yeah.
And I'm all in on the tag team with Miz. Like the music video for Miz and Morrison.
What they are dads.
It's really cool.
They're cool. Like that's what their character is, but it works really well.
Oh, I think quality.
I feel sorry for Big E. I feel sorry for Big E and Jay because them two were fine, I think. And so then like,
I don't know. I wouldn't.
I'm surprised
they'll be quite relieved. Apparently, they'll split Mania.
Yeah. Great match.
Yeah, and then
really
Owens versus Rollins.
Yeah, Owens versus Rollins. So it was sort of two matches, but we'll just go for the predictions. You got actually correct, so you went for Miz and Morrison, and we'll let you off because there was only one of them. So you do get a point. I went for you, so I was very wrong there. But yeah, KO and Seth. We'll go for when we do the predictions because we both went for KO. We both get a point there. Well, we don't get a point. I've eliminated them if we've gone for the same guess. But the first match comes out and Seth Rollins just gets DQ'd within like 5 minutes. So like the trash talk was massively on within this first stint, I'll call it. And these two are so good at the trash talk. Kevin Owens one of the best. Seth was giving in his whiny little preaching voice. But Seth just DQs himself. He hits Owens with the ring bell. And we're all like, oh no. And he starts to walk to the back. And this could be one of the worst Mania endings. It's had a decent build. And then KO is like stumbling in the ring, goes, come back, come fight me properly in a no disqualification match. And Seth don't want to accept, and KO keeps on teasing him. And then Seth just eventually walks in and they start the match. How do you want to think about sort of the setup?
Right, so they had me like I thought they were gonna do a DQ. And I thought that I really like Rollins' gear. I know lots of people have said it, but Rollins' gear was like cool.
It was well nice. It was like the robe type thing, was like preacher robe.
The match itself was fine, and then the DQ, I did roll my eyes, and then Owens went, let's make it no DQ. Rollins agreed, and then they did a bit of chair spots. I think there was a bit of exchange, hitting each other with the ring bell.
Mm-hmm.
And then Owens,
the dings worked well as well.
Owens goes up top to the WrestleMania sign, the big WrestleMania sign.
Well, he walks behind and he goes somewhere like, where's he going? Then you just hear some like thing, and then the camera pans and goes, how's this for a WrestleMania moment? And just yeets himself off with like an elbow drop.
I could have done without him shouting that before it.
I could have, but it's the thing that Seth's been antagonising with the whole build up, so it sort of works.
It was a big spot, and it made me go like wow, yeah, that's your big spot tonight. And then that match won it. Owens got the wins.
Mm-hmm.
The right result, I think. I came away from it. It wasn't a show stealer of the match, but it was solid.
Did you see the interview that KO did just after the Mania? He went, "Oh yeah, we did a walk of the stadium, the Raymond James one." And he went, "I went to the boat and I just looked around it to see things I could jump off it with." So I think this was his equivalent of getting what he wanted, of just yeeting himself off the sign instead.
Really cool match,
good finish.
The show stealer's yet to come.
Show stealer. Well, there's two matches left now. I'm guessing it's not. The match after this, it was the Universal Champion Goldberg versus Braun Strowman. So obviously, it was announced on the Twitter that Braun Strowman would take the place. I think we were both looking at so in our predictions, you went for Goldberg win, but you went for Strowman as a mystery opponent. And I went for the to be decided to win, because when we recorded it, we didn't know who it was going to be. So I went for the to be decided, but I said it was going to be Rusev. So we both get a point. Actually, so we both get a point there. That I'm just going to class it as no points because we both got the same. So the match happens. So Goldberg comes out and he hits 4 spears. Was it?
No, 3.
3 spears, and Braun just kicks out quite convincingly.
It was 3 spears, and then it hit a 4th. It hit 3 spears for the first fall, and then hit a 4th.
And then Braun kicked
and then he went, and then he didn't pin him after the 4th. He went for a jackhammer, and then Strowman slid out at the back.
Strowman slid out and hit 4 power slams, and then 1. I think with the no crowd, the pins sort of became more unexpected. Because normally you hear that 1, 2, 3, but instead it's just
they were even proper power slams. Well, they were proper power slams, but Strowman usually does the running ones.
He did a running for the final one, didn't he?
Yeah. I enjoyed this match
because
it was
what it needed to be.
I knew it was going to be really short, so I just thought just strap in for the rides and see what happens.
I was going in expecting, like when it was announced Braun, I was like, Braun's gonna hit like 3 running power slams at the start. Goldberg will kick out at 2, then Goldberg hit like 4 spears. I thought they were going to do jackhammer because it's pre-recorded, and then when Goldberg hit it first, I was like, Braun's winning here, and right time for Strowman to win? Probably not, but at least he's finally got that main roster belt.
He's a good PR guy. Apart from just saying
his tweets
before.
Yeah.
But look, Goldberg he's better than Goldberg. He's not a part timer.
I do feel sorry for Goldberg.
At the end of this match, I just laughed because what else can you do? It's not. This is what the Fiend got beat for.
Yeah, I know we talked.
Was it worth it? Was it worth it to bump one SmackDown rating?
I think we say that the Fiend was buried, so Strowman could win the title, but the Fiend was buried, so Reigns could win the title at Mania.
Yeah,
I think it's turned out the best for both of them, really. Goldberg doesn't have to worry about that big loss to Roman. Strowman gets the belt. Fiend has an incredible match.
Nah, it's not worked out the best for the Fiend. The Fiend will never.
I think he will. I just don't think he goes to the title. I don't think it. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. But yeah, Braun Strowman is your new Universal Champion. And then we did have the main event. Instead of it being in the ring, it was Michael Evans. And now it's The Undertaker versus AJ Styles in a boneyard match at Tom Phillips. And then it cuts to I'll do the intros and I'll let you talk about the match. So it cuts to like a graveyard and a hearse pulling up. A coffin gets pulled out like, it's the Undertaker, and it's lifted up by 2 druids, and it's AJ Styles there just smiling and laughing, just taking an account of Undertaker. And then in the background you just hear not as motorbike, but it was like a proper old motorbike batch. What was the song in the background? Was it Limp Bizkit?
No, apparently it was.
I'm about to say, because it didn't sound like his old theme, and then the Undertaker pulls up on the bike. Simon, take it away. So I know it's your favourite match.
This might be my favourite WrestleMania match of all time. That's no exaggeration. I loved everything about it. Where do I start? Right. So, so Undertaker shows up on his motorcycle, but from the first 10 seconds, I knew I was into it because, I don't know. I feel like personally, I'm drawn to more sort of spooky characters. I know it's completely different, but Dexter Lumis. As soon as I knew it was in a graveyard, I'm just intrigued. Right, so the match starts off with AJ Styles trying to grab a rock as a weapon, and then Taker hit him with it before he had a chance to use it, and then I think Undertaker, and then they fought onto the hearse No, they fought onto the car, the coffin thing that Styles arrived in, and then Undertaker punches through the windscreen, cuts his arm, and just says, "Son of a bitch." Just made me laugh. And then Taker just gets in a lot of offense, and right, when this match really kicked into another gear, they fight to the barn. Anderson and Gallows show up. I'm like, all right, okay.
It was the best reveal as well. He got.
And I was just expecting Anderson and Gallows to just sort of jump Taker and try and beat him down. I wasn't expecting them to stand there and just 6 doors from the barn drop. And these 6 druids enter. Like, who are the druids? Why? It was just... Yeah, but like in kayfabe, who are they? Like, where have Gallows and Anderson got them from? Why? And Undertaker hit about 3 of them, and that was enough to just kill them off for the remainder of the match.
It's the power of the Undertaker.
So that was a nice little bit. But like Taker was he just wasn't asked by him. Like he's like, okay, then just looks like I'm gonna have to fight these 6-on-1. So that was quality. Loved that. And then after he fought them off, Styles came up, hit him with a tombstone in the back of Taker's head. And then he just sort of taunted for a bit, and then some sad music started to play in the background, like it was like the end of Taker's career. It was
AJ puts him in the grave.
Words can't describe it. It hits him with a shovel, knocks him into the open grave. I'm there thinking like, wow, surely not like. I was like, if this is the end, that's fair enough. What a hell of a ride. It gets onto like the sort of like the digger, I guess.
Yeah, we'll call it a digger.
The Undertaker appears behind him because of course he just gets out of the grave and he's standing over AJ Styles. The hand coming out of the grave at the end was good, but Taker appearing over the back of AJ Styles, that is the shot of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And so Undertaker used the powers of darkness to appear behind Styles. So of course that was just insane. Used some of his supernatural powers. Summon a fire.
They ended up crawling on top of the barn.
Yeah. So they went up onto the top of the barn, up onto the roof. Styles was running away. Gallows and Anderson got up on there. And I think Gallows got choke slammed off.
He got thrown off,
So like Gallows has just died.
Yeah.
Carl Anderson, I think, took a big boot on the roof, and then he was just left. And then, as you said earlier, Undertaker set some fire off. So like I don't know whether they just got like scorched.
Well, the thing is, Gallows was fine. He was thrown off because we saw when Undertaker was climbing down, he was just laid prone. Where did Anderson go? Because where Anderson got big booted is where the fire happened.
Which just makes it even better.
So rest in peace. Rest in peace to Anderson.
Yeah, and then Styles gets choke slammed off the top of the roof through some like wooden things. I don't know how to describe it. And then that was the beginning of the end of the match. And he just sort of goes, you gave me a tough fight, kid. Come on, Alan Jones.
I hugged him as well.
It was a good fight. It was a fight like a man. And he looked like he was going to let him off the hook. And then he just turned around, big boot. Styles goes into the grave. Taker goes onto the digger and just buries Styles in loads of dirt. And obviously you don't see him get covered. Or it just cuts from him being in the grave to Taker on the digger to just a hand sticking up. And then that's it. That's the end of the match. And then I think Undertaker clicks his fingers or something, and his logo just projects onto the barn.
No, the thing that Undertaker has gone right. I need some LED setups.
It's like in kayfabe, he must have just gone to the graveyard before and just set it up like the projector. Oh, glorious! And then he gets back on his motorbike and he's like, "Yeah, that's a good day's work done." And just rides out of the graveyard. Sorry, the boneyard, and the Metallica music just plays in the background.
Yeah.
And Undertaker just looks like the coolest guy ever. Does it matter that a 53-year-old has just beaten AJ Styles? Not in the slightest. Was this one of my favourite matches of all time? I've not let you get a word in edgeways.
I don't care.
I had to get it out. It was just, I'll say it now. I thought this was levels above the Firefly Funhouse.
We'll come on to it because I love
I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, the Boneyard match. It was great. It was still a
WrestleMania.
It was still a competitive match, but it had the wackiness of what a Boneyard match should have been. It still had these back and forths where you thought, well, AJ could win this, especially when the sad music started playing. Like, well, the Undertaker's dead here. The shocking appearance of him appearing behind him, fire, the big spots, like AJ being thrown off through into like it looked like hair, but it was like plastic and everything.
Yeah.
Then the actual ending of he just dumps all the mud on one of the LEDs project. They had AJ Styles' glove basically appearing through the grave. The Undertaker had nothing. We've got the things before. Okay, do we see? Is now Undertaker only going to wrestle in Boneyard matches? Because genuinely, that would be the best thing for his career.
I don't know whether it would be. You don't want to kill the magic.
Maybe not. No, but it was a great match.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and AJ? Are they just dead?
No, I think in kayfabe, like they eventually got themselves together and just like
I think kayfabe, like they managed to dig AJ out just in time.
They dug AJ back up and then they rode home.
And
just, yeah, like, but I didn't get to sleep for a good hour after this because I was not out like I was shattered, but I was just taking it all in, just thinking about it all, and I might even go watch it again today.
I'm considering watching the Firefly Funhouse match.
Yeah, there are not enough words to describe this, and it just like wrestling for me. It's at this point, it's either got to be like 5-star classic in-ring masterclass, or it's got to be wacky beyond belief.
I think that's what you got.
This certainly was wacky beyond belief. This brought WrestleMania up an entire star and a half.
Ooh, what we also did miss was the Gronk and Mojo for the show.
Who was asked about them too?
Oh, mate, Gronk was amazing. Gronk was great. Mojo was great, and I think the ending segment of their final sort of interactions was Gronk attack. R-Truth appears and he spends a good 15 seconds listing the name of the title. Gronk attacks him, goes for the pin. Mojo throws him up and goes, "I'm the new 24/7." He runs off, and then I think Charlie Caruso or Kayla Braxton basically goes to Gronk like, "Thank you for hosting Mania. What are you going to do?" And he went, "Tomorrow I'm going to get that 24/7 title championship." And so, but I like Gronk was great both nights for me. I feel sorry that obviously he didn't get to do it in front of a crowd, where I think he would have been better. But yeah.
Whenever Gronk was on, I used it as a piss break.
Oh,
I'm not asked, so I don't care.
I think he was good, but yeah, we're going to night 2, I suppose.
Yeah, it was all downhill from here.
Really?
It's not. Firefly Funhouse was a 9 out of 10, but I'm not looking for a reaction.
I think if you liked Boneyard match so much that but the show did start off with Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley.
I did Liv Morgan versus Natalya.
Oh, sorry, the pre-show it was Liv Morgan versus Natalya. Great.
Yeah, Morgan won on the WrestleMania.
Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. Good match. I think this is a match. If you rewatch it, you'd be like, okay, that was decent. It was like watching a female Wimbledon match.
It was just back and forth. Oh, just noises.
Just a lot of noise. I know they were probably trying to mask the silence, but there were probably other ways. But it was a good match. After the match, Charlotte did an interview and was saying, like, when you feel chemistry wrestling so different. I felt with Sasha, like, I feel it with Rhea Ripley. Like, she went, this is super easy to work with. So, go carry on.
I don't know whether I was just like not feeling it Sunday night. I was not into this match at all. And I know I'd like to make clear, I know I do not speak for the majority, and that most people thought it was a good match. The result for me just made it even. I just frustrated me even more. The only good thing that will come out of this is whoever does beat Charlotte for the title it's going to be mega. But
Yeah,
who in NXT beats Charlotte?
Candice LeRae.
Oh no!
Really build her up as not as Johnny's wife, as this incredible singles wrestler.
I know you like Candice LeRae. I've never.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. My first thought was Chelsea Green.
Yeah, I think she's not there yet.
She isn't. I don't think anyone's there. That's the problem.
No.
Charlotte's so far above anybody else.
In fairness, we probably should have predicted Charlotte winning. If you look at the ratings, obviously AEW's beaten NXT 17 times in a row or something weird like that.
Yeah.
So they needed a big pull, and Charlotte is that. In fairness, Rhea is still in NXT, so we'll probably get a couple of matches between them two again.
Yeah.
So, good match. Charlotte obviously getting the win.
Maybe it was a good start to WrestleMania. I wasn't feeling it.
You were still coming off the Boneyard match. You just wanted to see repeats of it.
Yeah. If it's not the Boneyard match, I'm not interested.
But then we did have Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. Black winning. So the finish sort of came where Lashley was setting him up for something. I can't remember. Was it? It was like a lifting finisher. I can't remember.
I wasn't
basically.
I wasn't watching. I think it was the Dominator.
Yeah. And then Lana hops and goes, no, spear, hit him with the spear. So he puts Black down and goes to set up for the spear. Black mass, 1, 2, 3. And I think the biggest development was on Raw. It was a backstage segment where Lashley's been interviewed by Charles Caruso, I think, or Kayla, one of them.
I might need a new wife.
Yeah, and he goes, I might need a new wife or a business partner. And then Leo Rush just retweeted it and just went, yes.
Yeah, I love Leo. But about 4 months after these two becoming a thing, are we really going to do divorce segments in front of an empty arena? I don't think I can bring myself to do it. I
think they'll just sort of not keep them together because Lana appears and goes like, guys, what are we talking about? Come on, guys. And Lashley just walks away. So I think it's just going to be a thing of...
If they just phase these two out, or like this pairing out, that's unforgivable.
Poor Rusev.
Think about how much time and effort they put into getting these two.
I know, but it's weird that they realise the errors of the ways.
Why should we care though? Why should we ever get invested in anything ever again?
We shouldn't. You should know this. In wrestling, we get the faintest hopes of something, and it just disappears. But don't worry, because we will get the best thing. Otis versus Dolph Ziggler was up next, and so Ziggler comes out, accompanied by Sonya Deville, and
that was weird.
That was weird, but it makes sense. Them two were conspiring with each other to sort of help Mandy.
Well, it wasn't made clear on SmackDown that it was like a definite heel turn because Deville. It would have made sense if Deville had been like, "Yeah, that's right, I did it," but instead she was like begging for forgiveness. Well,
she admitted that she did it, but she was still going like, she still said like, "Yeah, I did it, but I'm sorry" and stuff like that. I think that worked out, and then obviously she came out with Ziggler sort of cementing it.
They just missed a clear story beat. All it needed was a backstage segment. But so they kind of lost me at that point. A little bit.
They redeemed it after. So Otis comes down storming it back and forth. Then Sonya tries to get involved. And so all of a sudden you just hear Mandy. Mandy comes out, slaps Sonya. Then Otis hits the caterpillar. 1, 2, 3. Ziggler rolls out as Sonya leaves. Mandy and Otis left in the ring. He picks Mandy up, holds her, and then they look at each other. They get it on. They leave the ring.
Yeah.
He got the girl, Simon.
I wasn't. Look, this was the finish it deserved. And the Mandy Rose coming out, low blow Ziggler, help slaps on you, help Otis, Caterpillar. It was executed perfectly, and it was like if you could have written it out beforehand, it had probably gone like this. I personally didn't find myself particularly into it, but
I agree with that.
I acknowledge it was as good as it was going to get.
Yeah, he did it for the big lads. Yeah, really fun match.
I probably needed to lighten up a bit, but I don't know. I wasn't feeling it.
And with predictions, you do equalise because you went Otis and I went Ziggler.
Yeah.
I thought Ziggler was going to... I thought Otis would still get his moment. The thing is, it comes down to one match. It comes down to one match now, the predictions. It's currently 2-2 in terms of correct predictions that where we differed.
Right.
But we're going to the one of the longest matches on the card, which was Edge.
You talk about this one. It's toilet break time because this is going to be a long podcast.
Yeah. Edge beat Randy Orton in the last man standing match. So it opens up, they both came out, and it sort of started off in the ring and immediately went out. They battled by the commentary desk, all around the ring post, and then all of a sudden Randy goes, they go to sort of like the back left. Like, you remember last year's Mania where Miz and Shane went? They sort of went that way, brawling backstage, they like boxes and stuff. And then eventually got to a corridor, and you can see sort of where Gorilla position is. You can see Heyman. Can you see? You might be able to see Bruce Pritchard as well. You can see Heyman for sure. And the Brawl Pass are having a battle. I'm probably missing out some big moments here, but it was such a long match. But for me, it was slow. There was a lot of walking, a lot of punch. Okay, wait, punch, wait a bit more. But for me, it just worked well. It was sort of this blood feud where they don't care how long it's taken. They want, because they could have ended it a lot quicker. Like, they could have done a big move, but they wanted to punish each other. So sort of for me, I think the first big move that I can remember is they buy the big desk in the NXT main room, and there's like what they call it, what steel cages and Hell in a Cells are made out of. There's them above the desk, and so Edge puts Orton on the desk. He climbs up and he does like the shortest elbow drop ever, but it worked really well. Orton still go back up. They brawled again. They end up going to like the storage area, and this is sort of when it turned up level. So Orton was just hitting Edge with ladder, chairs, anything that he could. They eventually get to one of the big trucks. They talk on. They get to the big trucks that they like move all the ring and stuff with. And they eventually climb up. I sort of just briefed over a couple of stuff. It was quite slow. I didn't think they were in the Performance Center gym, and a spot that's got quite a bit of, not quite a bit of it, just a little bit of it is Orton puts Edge's neck and arm through one of the weightlifting machines. And obviously, if you don't know, because it's fresh in people's head, Chris Benoit, that's how he did murder his family. He used weight equipment and stuff. So people were saying that was quite inconsiderate. But apparently, especially in backstage, there were people who were a bit offended. But I think you can sort of let them off. They probably weren't thinking, we'll do this because that's Benoit link. They're probably thinking this is going to look vicious, maybe without knowing. So I think we can let them off. They end up brawling on top of one of these big trucks. Edge hits a spear. Orton just gets up in time. Edge goes for another one. Orton hits an RKO. Then Edge hits another spear. And he puts and then he does the, I can't say the word, concerto. So he puts a chair underneath Orton's head and he gets another one. And Edge is so good. We are watching thingy, and his facials are amazing. Like, he knew how to sell everything, and he's just sat basically up top of this thing, just bawling his eyes out as he sets this chair on Orton's thing, and he concerto, but he's still crying as Orton's just laid there prone. He gets the win, but he doesn't smile. He just cries. He looks sad. He looks emotional. He's done this to this guy who has tormented him. Orton's been a prick to Edge. He's attacked Beth Phoenix. He's dissed his children, but he still is crying. He's emotional over Orton. Yes, the match was long. It was 37 minutes, I think it was. But I think if it was a 20-minute match of them doing the spots quick, for me, it wouldn't have the same effect. Like, we had Gargano Ciampa, who I think did the same match in, I think, 30 minutes, and it was more entertaining because it was more fast-paced. But these two guys aren't young. They're older guys, but this is more of a hatred of, they want to do as much as they can, so they weren't letting each other win. They wanted to keep the pain going as long. What were your opinions on the match, Simon?
Trim off a good 20 minutes and it'd have been all right.
Really? So 17 minutes. See, for me that would have been too quick. Like, it's over now.
Half of this match didn't need to be there. It didn't need. It didn't need. There are only so many times you can hit someone with a move, and a referee counts to 9 before you go, oh, all right, here we go again. I don't like last man standing matches as a concept.
Right.
And this didn't do it any favours. I just think they're a bit predictable. Not predictable, but like I never find there to be any like escalation of drama. It's always just like if someone doesn't make it up before the count of 10, it's not like the celebrations when someone gets a big 3 count. It's just like, oh, all right, okay.
So yeah. I can understand that, but I think it worked with Edge just crying that he's having to do this to his friend. At the end of the day, they are friends. But I think it worked well.
I thought I was going to be a lot more into this because I've watched WWE 24, and it's probably one of the best things I've ever watched on the network.
The Undertaker one's come out soon as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Last Ride. That's like a big series. Like, I can't wait for him to talk about his match versus Goldberg.
Yeah. That'll be very.
Yeah, but the last 10 minutes were all right, and Edge winning was the right decision. But wow, this went long.
I do admit it did go long, but for me, I didn't notice it. It kept me entertained. Even the bits where they were just walking through the performance center, or through just a quick punch and then have a break.
Yeah.
I was so, maybe because of this build up, I was so invested that I didn't want to take my eyes off. And the ending for me was just great. Just Edge crying as he did it, as he submitted him and then Concerto.
That's the difference. After 15 minutes, I was looking at the clock and thinking, right, come on, lads, wrap this up.
Right. But that was a match, I think it was a great match, great result. You can't have Edge losing on his return. After this, Rob Gronkowski won the 24/7 championship. So Mojo comes out, he's being chased by a bunch of jobbers. One looked like Ziggler, but I was like, it can't be Ziggler. They've just had him in the Otis match. It really wouldn't fit. I think it was just someone in the performance center who has similar hair to Ziggler. Who else did we say was?
I have no idea. I think
with Babatunde, but I don't think Babatunde were there. They all look similar. I think it was just a bunch of jobbers who were there. So then Gronk climbs up on the podium, the balcony. It just falls off, pins Mojo, and he's as of this time, he's still the 24/7 champion. Unless I missed something at Raw, it didn't appear in the highlights.
No, he is. He'll probably defend it on some like big sports show. They'll get loads like me.
What sports show? There's no spots to defend it on. That is the problem. He genuinely might be the longest reigning champion. He may become the longest one because there is no spots for him to defend it on. But we'll wait and see how he loses it.
Yeah, and he can't just. The 24/7 concept doesn't work now because if you just attack someone in the street, you should get done for like social distancing.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work their way around it.
Unless until this is all over.
Unless we just get a thing of Gronk and his wife just having a match in their house, because I would pay to see that. Two people who can't wrestle.
One of his kids. I don't know if he's got kids, but I'd like to see him lose it to a child.
That would be great.
Or like a dog or something.
Yeah, like he's just filmed on his phone. He puts it out on Twitter. WWE retweet it and quote and like share it, and it's just him losing the belt to his children and his wife. If he does as kids, I don't know.
That being said, Rob Gronkowski is still obnoxious, and I don't like him.
No, I like him. He's great. He's just entertaining for me. But we did have the Raw Tag Team Championship match after that: the Street Profits versus Austin Theory and Angel Garza. Nah.
Right. No, this lifted me straight back up.
Really?
Wow. I feel like I like all the wrong people, but I wasn't. I thought I wasn't excited for Edge versus Orton, but as soon as I saw Angel Garza in Theory, I was straight back up again. I don't know what it is. I'd never thought they were gonna win. It was a fight. It was a fine match. It went really short.
It did.
And Bianca Belair, it's not allowed. It's not allowed to debut her. But fair enough.
Yeah, and it basically more or less cemented that she's on the main roster. It happened on Raw that they confirmed it, but
just want Austin Theory. I want the team, but Austin Theory in particular, just to get some more wins.
I think he will on NXT now that he's got the main roster shine.
All day, real superstar. Oh, I like it.
Yeah, Street Profits retaining the title. Not more you can say. Then we did have the elimination match. SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley versus Sasha Banks versus Lacey Evans versus Tamina versus Naomi. This is the biggest match in terms of wrestling. It's what the predictions come down to.
Is it?
And yeah. So the first elimination came for Tamina, where all 4 of them teamed up, all pinned her. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Tamina gets eliminated. Tamina trainer has off the track.
Why are we acting like Tamina is the second coming of like Giant Gonzalez or like Hulk Hogan or something?
She is. Every match she's in, she gets built up as the big, because she's a bigger one. Apart from like Nia Jax, she's one of the biggest wrestlers.
But apart from on SmackDown,
yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. Oh, I thought it annoys me.
In fairness, whenever Tamina's in a match or something, she does get thingy. She gets the go home SmackDown rub. She'll always win on that. I'm pretty confident.
But when the match comes in, it's always like she gets the big show in the Rumble treatment.
Yeah. Oh, it's Tamina. She's never won it. She's never been in the final 5.
Tamina gets more build than Nia Jax does, I think.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah and no. It's just because we rarely see her.
That isn't really the main talking point.
No, so obviously Tamina got eliminated. Then after that, it was Naomi who got really eliminated. I was surprised she got eliminated second. I would have thought it'd be a lot later. I thought she could have won it.
I've just found something else that not annoyed me, but I thought it was just a bit weird. So when Banks, Naomi, and Tamina reunited to form Team Bad, then they did the handshake thing. It was a little bit like Riot Squad at the Elimination Chamber. They're acting like, oh my, like what a moment, they've reunited.
Team Bad were together for 6 months.
Did it even register with you that these were ever a team?
Oh yeah, I remember because they mentioned it in the promos and stuff, and I already knew it. But I wasn't like, oh my, yes, it's Team Bad. I can't believe it. Like,
I feel like the way they want us all to react is like, oh my god, it's Team Bad, I can't believe it. Are they going to be friends? Are they going to implode? And in reality, like everyone's just sat there being like, oh yeah, I forgot they were a team.
In fairness, they do it a lot where they go like, oh, look at these guys used to be friends, and now
it just annoys me. They don't give Summer any reference or build for like 4 years, and then they cross paths again, and it's like an example nothing. Right is Edge and Orton at the Rumble. Like that was Edge's first match back, and his entire Rumble match was centered around his old friendship with Orton.
Yeah.
How to reference it right. Not this. Come on.
Not this. But anyway, Naomi gets eliminated, then 3 are left. And basically Lacey just hits the women's right on Sasha, and she goes to the cover, looks at Bayley, and I didn't notice this in the match, but it was pretty good. Bayley doesn't do anything. She just sits and watch. Like she could have tried to save her friend, so she got a thing. And she just sits and watches as Sasha gets eliminated. And I thought that was a great detail. I didn't see until after the show. She when the cover were happening, she's just laid up against the ropes and doesn't even make a half-assed effort. She just watches 1, 2, 3. Sasha gets eliminated. And unfortunately, Simon, Sasha was your pick.
Oh yeah, and then I didn't register that.
But my pick, Bayley, wins. So I'd just like to say I won the predictions for Mania. 3-2, technically.
Yeah, well done, I guess.
Wow. I expect a medal and an award.
Oh.
But yeah, Bayley wins. Correct result.
The Boneyard match happened.
Correct result.
I thought
Sasha helped Lee.
But if SummerSlam goes ahead, it makes sense to have Bayley versus Banks 5 years on from that takeover match. So
yeah,
what they set up gets a thumbs up. But overall, the match was pretty. I mean, I know I've sort of ribbed it a little bit there, but I did think it was the best women's match of the. It went a little bit too long.
I don't think it was the best women's match. It was okay. Sasha obviously helping Bayley to overcome Evans, so she still helped her. But yeah, Okay, but we'll go on to the match of the weekend. I know you're not going to like it, but it was John Cena versus The Fiend in a Firefly.
I really did like it. I thought it was a 9 out of 10 match. I thought it was better than Boneyard. I've got it in for it because it's overshadowing the Boneyard match and people.
I think it's better than Boneyard, but I have got to hear so I'm trying to find it, but I've actually got each chapter loaded up. So it started off with John Cena. Actually, I was worried because Cena comes out, first and he comes to the ring, and I was like, oh no, what's going to happen here? Because it's and he comes out and he goes, and he does his normal entrance and normally goes like, this is WrestleMania to the crowd and goes, this is Wrestle. And then all of a sudden it cuts to footage of Vince McMahon and tons of legend companies go like, WrestleMania, 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 and distorting. And then Cena appears in the Firefly Funhouse. As his first, so Cena enters, so he goes to the Firefly Funhouse and basically all of the puppets are there and Ramble appears and goes, he's through that door. But be careful, he's through that door. So that he goes through the door. And so chapter 2 happens and it's an all black room. Something happens. And I got this shit scared out of me. Because when the Vince McMahon puppet popped up, I leaped out my skin.
I were expecting Wyatt or The Fiend. I wasn't expecting puppet.
He just scared. I was like, oh god. And so the Vince puppet goes, it basically says he wants to see some ruthless aggression. Who has enough ruthless aggression to make the necessary sacrifices on mind, body, soul, in order to be a success in this company, is what he says. And then it cuts. And so obviously, if you don't know what happened, that's when Cena a couple of days later made his debut wearing his red right pants against Kurt Angle, where he cuts his ruthless aggression promo. And so what we see that. So I think it's Fiend in the ring and he's cutting Kurt Angle's promo. And Cena comes out. They have the old big... They splice in footage of Cena's original debut and what is currently going on now. And Cena comes out wearing these old pants. This was filmed in Connecticut, where the headquarters are. So they had the old fist there. So they have the old fist. Cena comes out with the old fist, goes and he's reliving it all in this Firefly Funhouse thing. Fiend is making Cena relive all these moments in his career. And it's great, and he goes Cena goes, ruthless aggression, and Bray sort of turns back to himself and goes, what do we basically talk about? But then you were close to being released, and Cena just goes, ruthless aggression, but he says it as he says it in the promo, but his face, it's like his body's being controlled by the Fiend, but his face isn't. His face is going, same ruthless aggression, but he's shocked. He's like, I'm not saying this. I don't have control of myself. He basically just didn't have a voice or a personality. He was just saying ruthless aggression. It was really good. Bray basically teases a generic pandering version of him seen as probably his greatest failure. Then basically the next thing is it cuts. That it basically goes to black, Fiend disappears, and it goes to the Saturday night main event, background, and it's basically Cena's childhood and growing up, and so Bray's out there cutting a promo. I can't remember who he's as, but he introduces Johnny Largemeat, basically parodying the fact that Cena got this second chance in wrestling because he was the typical WWE guy, big and muscly.
It was all just a bit mental. I didn't even know what was happening.
Yeah. It's like Bray was saying Cena's got this opportunity because he's had many opportunities because he's like the wrestlers that the era grew up largely because stereotypical 80s promo. He was doing the bicep curling, sort of implying that Cena more focused on his body when he was younger rather than sort of his wrestling. I've just seen the picture you've changed to. Fair play.
I don't know how long I'll keep it for. I think I might make it a running theme every week to change it.
It changes, yeah, same. So then Bray says Cena's obsession with his body stems from his true desire not to be a pro wrestler, but to be an idol that demands the worship of each others. So then that just cuts off, and then and then it starts to show Cena as the Doctor of Thugonomics, and it's like he's just been thrown onto the stage, and he comes out stumbling. And then basically the whole point of this was talking about how Cena was never actually good at these. He was just getting the cheap heat and the cheap pops from these basically childish disses. Like Cena crassly expressed Bray's inaptitude for stardom by saying, "You're a slut for opportunity. You've blown every chance." Bray responds in his gimmick-free voice. He said he had to work for every opportunity. So basically, Bray talks in his normal, calm voice, while Cena is just talking in his thugonomics voice. Like, Bray basically gives him the chance to go, "Talk to me normally, John," basically. And then Cena just does these nut jokes. He throws some nuts at him, and then he goes to punch Fiend. Fiend disappears, and behind, Fiend's basically got Cena's chain, wrapped it around his arm, and punches Cena. Cena falls to the ground, and then it cuts to... There's so much to talk about. It's very subsequent. Then it cuts to WrestleMania 30, where obviously Bray's rewriting his own failures now. So he basically tries to sort of convince John. So it first cuts to I'm pretty confident if I just scroll through. Yep. It cuts to a promo of NXT Bray in, like, do you know his old shack that he was in? And he was wearing the whole, like, Wail on Mercy gimmick. He was wearing the Hawaiian shirt. And he basically... I forgot this from WrestleMania 30, but basically convinced Cena who he really is. A man so obsessed with fame is willing to do anything to achieve it, including cheating to win. He gives Cena another opportunity to use the steel chair he refused to use during their match from this time. So, like, obviously, that was the big one where we're going to see a Cena heel turn. WWE fan, we will come on to your question soon. We talk about this. And so Cena does pick up the chair. Bray sits down to get a thing. Cena makes contact, but Bray's already won mentally already. But because Cena's done this, it cuts to WCW Nitro, where Cena is basically in the NWO, and seeing that this was like Cena's biggest failure of he didn't want to become a heel because he would become something like the NWO. He basically, Fiend is in the ring. Cena just turns and starts beating him up. Eventually, Bray becomes Huskers the Pig, as he's just punching. And we're like, oh God, I was watching this, I was just couldn't take my eyes off. And then Cena's there realizing what he's done. And just behind him, you just see the Fiend, the actual Fiend, in his mask. And then mandible claw. And then the Fiend disappears. It's like Cena realized what he's done, mandible claw. The Fiend just disappears. Cena's laid out in the ring, doesn't move at all. And then it just goes off. And there's a good silence, like 10 seconds, and it goes back to the regular WrestleMania promo. What was your opinion?
It was a masterpiece. It was just, again, words. It's hard to describe it. Was this a trip into Bray Wyatt's mind? I think I love Devil Vince. You've got Johnny Large Meat. NWO Cena was kind of funny. My biggest pop was just when the Devil Vince said the Mox line. It's such good.
Shit. Because it's all right. I've already sworn for this. So yeah, such good shit.
That made me off.
Yeah.
And then the Fiend rocks up, and
mandible claw.
Yeah, mandible claw, and that was that. The Fiend. I mean, first of all, it was the right decision to have the Fiend win, or maybe, did Fiend win or did Cena beat Cena?
Yeah.
What happens to Cena now? Is he just like?
I don't think he.
Is he off TV for like a full year?
Well, I think so. I don't think he's going to be on TV for a while. And then when he returns, like, possibly he comes back like as his normal seat, because technically this is all that's happened, but we don't know if it's all happened in Bray's mind. Like, for all we know, I think from what we can take, it has happened, and Cena will be this dejected man. But for all we know, a Firefly Funhouse could just be inside Bray's mind.
Yeah, it'll.
I don't think so.
It will be fascinating to see how AJ Styles and Cena return after this.
I don't think we see Cena until he's ready to return, maybe after a bit of Hollywood and stuff. And maybe he comes out as himself, but then, like, through when he cuts promos, he might have flashbacks or something, possibly. I'm wondering how they obviously would do it. I forgot about the You Can Look But You Can't Touch as well with Bray singing it. I've completely forgot about that. Singing Nikki Bella's theme, which...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Cena would have agreed to it.
It was full of lots of Easter eggs and, like, little Easter eggs and sort of, like references aren't really a thing. I prefer just overt wackiness, which is why I think I prefer the Boneyard, because the Boneyard was full of, like, callbacks. It was just...
True.
Just two middle-aged blokes fighting in a graveyard, which is what I'm up for.
I think one of the saddest things was this was probably Matt Hardy's dream. Because this is the one thing he ever wanted. I think stuff that after was that Wyatt had created all himself, everything, and Cena came in and was like, okay, and he agreed to more or less everything. He added a little bit of things that were his own ideas. Apparently, Bruce Pritchard and Wyatt basically made the match. I think there must have been a bit of Jeremy Borash in there because Borash helped in the final deletion. It was filmed in Connecticut. I don't know how long it took him, but on Twitter, Matt Hardy just tweeted something at Bray Wyatt, like, well done. And Bray just replied with a broken heart thing, like, oh, but this should have been your thing. And people tweeting, like, thank you, Matt Hardy.
I don't buy anything wrestlers put on Twitter because they're wrestlers. Do you know what I mean?
I think this was an out of character Matt Hardy thing of, like, he wanted this, but he's proud of Bray. So they were tag teams together.
I only follow the wrestlers who are my boys.
Right. I follow a lot of them. I think I even follow Apollo Crews, which I don't know. But
I don't like. I think the only ones I follow are like Tino, Leo Rush, Dexter Loomis, and I think Angel Garza. And that might be it.
And Austin Theory. You can't forget about Austin Theory.
I'm not actually follow Austin Theory. I might do.
He needs to do it now. This is my match of the weekend for me. Obviously, yours is Boneyard. I think it's a very clear telling when your favourite matches are not really matches at all.
Yeah. Well, what was your favourite night of night 1 and 2? Oh no, sorry, we haven't done a McIntyre thingy.
No, we haven't. We'll go on to the main event. So the main event happened. Poor Drew just doesn't get a big entrance like he should have, but I think that didn't really matter when it came down to the match. For me, anyway, I was just like, it's Drew's moment. Brock comes out, look, and I think if I'm correct, it's Claymore. Brock kicks out.
Claymore, pin, F5, F5, F5.
Kick out.
Claymore.
I think, was it Claymore, kick out, suplex,
oh,
3 F5s, kick out at 1, another F5, kick out at 2, and then 4 Claymores.
Yeah.
It was good because after the long match before, this match didn't have to be super long. It was short, it was quick, it was effective. Unfortunately, Drew doesn't get this long match. I saw people complain saying, "Oh, Lesnar is just a typical thingy," but Lesnar didn't have to. Like, Brock is normally quite protective over his finisher, but if he gave 4 F5s nearly, multitude of suplexes to allow Drew to kick out at 1, that is truly showing that he was invested.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Oh, I hate to say it because I don't feel like I'm shitting on everything. It was way too similar to Strowman Goldberg.
Yeah, I couldn't understand that, but for me, it had more power over it.
Yeah, there was more of a story told in terms of Heyman going, look, we can do this all night, and then that fired McIntyre up more. But when it hit the final Claymore and the 1, 2, 3, and all of social media was like, yes, get in, and you were like buzzing, and I don't think I don't even think I practiced. I don't know if I was just like too tired or something, because this is only the second pay-per-view I've ever stayed up for. But I was just like, look, McIntyre can wrestle. Lesnar can wrestle. I don't get why they did a Goldberg type match.
I think they have.
Like,
I do.
meant to be finishes. I don't
think
like matches that are like 3 or 4 finishes. It blinds me.
I think a lot of some of these matches will be different. I think this Lesnar Drew match would have been a more competitive thing if it had a crowd, because there was no crowd to give the pop of like Drew getting this, Brock having a domination for 10 minutes, then Drew getting this big comeback. I think it had to be
in front of a crowd. In front of a crowd, this would have been monstrous.
Oh yeah, I think I'm just glad because when it first started and Brock just hit the moves, I like it's going to be a typical Brock thing. It just is. And then when he kicks out at one, I was like, oh my god, he's got to do it now. And then he does it, and I'm like, get in there.
It's not their fault that they don't have a crowd, but yeah, it was booked weirdly. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know most people don't agree. Not fine. I'm not gonna like. I can see why people liked it, but maybe I'm just being too picky.
Maybe. It's everyone's opinion. What was your favourite night? I think I know your answer.
So night 1 was Boneyard. I don't even need to say that. And night 2 was Funhouse.
Yeah, night 2 was my favourite. Just because it had Drew and it had the Funhouse.
No, I thought night 1 was vastly superior.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. But I'm all in favour of going 2 nights.
So did you like it or not? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I really liked it.
I found myself not getting bored, which I normally do with a lot of pay-per-views. Obviously, it's Mania, so you're never going to go. But like having that 2 night where it's like night 1's of God, we've still got another second night of amazing matches. Yeah, it for me.
It was a good card, but like I'm not sure whether they do this because like then you'd have to shift takeover.
And like you'd have to rent the stadium for 2 days with and then the crowds again. Like, I don't know whether it worked with a live crowd.
Well, if New Japan do it for Wrestle Kingdom, I know it's a lot harder for the WWE, but it's doable.
It is doable. I think we'll wait and see.
We say they've got to rent it for like for 2 days, but when it's like SummerSlam, WWE get like arenas for like 4 days straight.
True. I think a big like obviously they're promoting Money in the Bank coming up, but they're promoting the next Mania ahead, and I would genuinely love to go to the next Mania. It's in LA. It's a Hollywood theme. I think it could be really good if it goes. It should go ahead. I think we'd be fine by then. But
shall we do questions now? We've done WrestleMania.
So we just go through a couple of the questions. So obviously we had this early from Bembo, who basically went, I think Roman or will win Money in the Bank. Early prediction, who's winning it?
I've not thought about it, but
we'll say 1 SmackDown, 1 Raw, just in case.
I don't think it's going to be either of those 2.
Really, I think it might be Roman.
No, not after he won the. No, he didn't. Did he win the Rumble? No, Drew won the Rumble. It might be Roman. Roman won Money in the Bank.
No.
Has he not? Has he never won?
No. I think he's the only member of Shield who hasn't won.
It's quite hard to look past Roman, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, maybe Daniel Bryan could win it. Maybe I'm trying to say maybe surprise. We've only really ever had 1 surprise winner, and that's been Drew. Not Drew, Dolph, and Sandow. But if you look at like the people in that match, it was sort of a lower Money in the Bank.
Yeah, no, I wrote.
I'm just loading up the Money in the Bank now. Sorry, I was loading up the Money in the Bank wins. I'm just trying to see where Roman could win.
The next one was again from Bembo Gaming. Otis and Mandy Rose is the new Randy Savage and Elizabeth.
Yeah,
you can't disagree.
You can't. It was a good moment. I found myself smiling because of it.
Yeah,
and I think that's what you want from.
That's what they were going for, and it did work.
And then we had this one from WWE fan, which was, what was your favourite match of night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania?
Right, which surely we've got to have the same answers.
Night 1, 3, 2, 1, Boneyard.
And Funhouse.
And then night 2, Funhouse, yeah.
If anyone thinks otherwise, I think they're just wrong. Like, I think wrestling's not the thing for you.
Yeah. I think, like, it's sad when you see matches that weren't actually matches, but they were just more entertaining. So, what can you say?
So as we hit. Oh, sorry, you got Money in the Bank. I was just going to say, as we come up to the 2-hour mark, we've still got Raw to go.
We have got Raw. We'll go through Raw now. But we've got Money in the Bank coming up as well, so that's the next pay-per-view they're building to. But the show started off with Raw. The first match of after WrestleMania. It was Asuka versus Liv Morgan, and quite a decent back and forth match actually. Asuka obviously getting the win, which is great. She's lost the title. Maybe she's been built up as a sort of a solo star now. I don't know whether Kairi Sane's gone back home or like if she's at home now. So maybe that's why Asuka couldn't have been there. But yeah, correct result in my opinion. One way.
It's not the opening night of after Mania, but that doesn't really matter. But why give? It's just a bit jarring that they gave Liv Morgan the win over Natalya, and then they just had to get beat the night after. Like,
yeah, but it's against Asuka.
It makes sense.
Yeah. But then we did have the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profit, beating Angel Garza and Austin Theory via disqualification. So basically that was Selena Vega, which led to Bianca Belair versus Selena Vega ended in a no contest. So now that set up a 6-person tag match, which basically this more or less confirmed that Bianca Belair also is on the main. She's being confirmed as on the main roster now.
Yeah.
Fair play to her. She gets to be with Montez now.
You've got fair play for giving Belair the win, but man, they are not making Garza and Theory look good.
No.
I said it to you a little bit. I think Montez Ford's getting a bit obnoxious. They're shaking like it's just like just go away.
I think that's his character, and I think for me it fits.
He's getting into Gronk territory.
No, he's not. Montez has always been this character. He's hype. I think with Bianca, he's going to work really well now because it's someone to bounce off of a bit more than Angela Dawkins.
No, I'm losing it with Montez. We'll see.
Well, speaking of someone that you might not be losing it with, we had Aleister Black versus Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews having a good show in here.
Yeah, I like right. I've not lost it with either of these. I like Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
So it was nice. Right, yeah. Crews on Raw, thumbs up. Aleister Black gets a win, thumbs up. Yeah, it was.
This is looking like a feud
why,
as well.
But
Crews tested him.
I'm hoping Crews will join the faction with Ricochet and Cedric, and we just have a list of people who Vince has given up on.
Just the fluffy boys.
Players, guys who could be on 205. I know Crews is a bit more sort of hench to be on 205, but he fits the mold. I'd be really up for that.
Wow. So then, now it's time to throw them up. As we got, I don't know whether it's a debut, but I don't know whether they're on permanently. But we did have Ricochet, Cedric Alexander versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch.
Yeah, don't treat this as a call up.
Oh, I genuinely think they need to be on SmackDown, and they have been on every single brand.
Yeah, they do
within this year. Which could be their character. They could be these journeymen who wrestle everywhere. It could work for them.
Yeah, I mean, Cassius Ohno's a bit like that, but he just does the UK now. But yeah, Lorcan and Burch probably do the most.
And I think they're entertaining.
Ricochet and Cedric on Raw. Who'd have thought it? I mean, getting a win on Raw.
And as a tag team.
I really hope this doesn't get dropped.
I don't think it will.
I hope this has got potential.
It's interesting. So I think it was confirmed that this Raw was taped. NXT has already been taped, but apparently SmackDown's going to go ahead as live. Apparently, and same with it's going to be interesting. If you don't know, AEW have nearly filmed. Did they say 3 months worth of content nearly to take them up? I think apparently they filled quite a lot of content that would nearly take them up to predicted date of ongoing, resuming of normal day procedures. So it'd be interesting to see how WWE do it. After this, we did have Seth Rollins versus, I'm going to butcher his name, but Denzel DeJournette.
DeJournette. He's a performance recruit, isn't he?
Is he? I don't know. I've never heard of him.
Yeah. I've seen his name a couple of times. Yeah, I think he does
cool.
the Florida.
Oh, cool. Well, fair play to him. He gets a match on Raw. General squash match, but Seth needed it.
It's not half bad, is it?
No.
This was fine. It wasn't much, but it was all right. Rollins just confident, comprehensive win. Curb stomp. Looks very frustrated with himself. I'm
Seth and KO. This match is really sort of trying to propel him. So Seth now is obviously just beating Denzel, and sort of this could really push him forward and sort of motivation. And a pre-recorded thing was like KO was like, "I'm kicking things into the next gear now. I've beaten Seth. I'm not going to stop." Maybe them two in the Money in the Bank, I'm guessing, could be first to entrance. Maybe KO wins it, I think he could deserve it.
Oh, yeah, that's a shout.
For Raw, then who would he go against?
I think Drew.
KO Drew, though. Oh, no, KO doesn't need it until Drew could end up losing it by Mania next year. Could have a year title reign, lose it in Mania, and then KO takes it the Raw after Mania, maybe. Yeah. But we'll wait and see with that. We did have a return, though, with Nia Jax defeating Deonna Purrazzo, and she's got a new finisher.
Has she?
Yeah, she's got the Rampage. Do you know Paige's finisher?
It's a package DDT.
Yeah, but do you know, it's Paige's. So someone tweeted Paige and was like, "Is that your finisher?" She went, "Yeah, she can have it. I've given it to her, basically."
Why on earth is Nia Jax using a DDT?
I don't know, but I definitely needed a new finisher.
What? That's like the least she should be using like a big power move, like the big catastrophe.
Her signature is a Samoan drop, but her finisher is a DDT. It could work well. It depends how much she like. If she uses her full body weight to launch the DDT into the floor, it would work. But if it's just a typical DDT, it won't work. But if she uses a whole body, I think it could be good.
I was about to give this loads of praise because I love every return. Like, it don't matter who it is. I just like seeing wrestlers just like come back to the picture and like come into the fold. Like if Lars Sullivan ever comes back, I'm gonna be at the laugh because I like returns.
I don't think I was excited, but
package DDT. Oh yeah,
so I don't know what she's called it, but it's the Rampage. So she's not going to call it that.
So they're gonna put Nia straight in there. It's Nia versus Becky.
Yeah,
but then Becky will win, and then that'll take her to SummerSlam when she faces Ronda.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, poor Nia, but we don't know.
She's back in the mix. Yeah. Wrestling.
After this match, we did have Humberto Carrillo beating Brendan Vink.
Oh, he was all she's won it.
Yeah, poor Humberto didn't even get on the didn't get even on the menu card. I just realised.
Oh yeah.
After all the work he's did before, like leading up to it, he don't get.
He's been there less than 2 years. Let's face it, time's on his side.
True.
Brendan Vink just confuses me. I've spoke about this before.
Go on.
I think it's because he doesn't wear any wrist tape.
That's your reason.
Yeah, something just doesn't. I don't have anything to say. Something about Brendan Vink though, I can't put my finger on. He's quite enticing to watch, but not in like just the way he moves. He's like a big he moves like he's I don't know where I'm going with this, just ignore me.
Correct result.
Brendan Vink confused. I like Humberto Carrillo. I really like his theme.
That's the only thing you like about his theme.
Yeah, not much you can say about this. No, I really like Humberto. I think he's really cool.
But we did have we did have the main event though. It was a pre-recorded thing after Mania, which was strange. So they tokened it as after Drew's win. So Drew cuts a promo probably 20 minutes after his win.
Wait, no.
Have you just seen what happened?
I didn't know any of this.
So
I did wonder why they had the WrestleMania sign. Did they really do
an after Mania thing for Raw?
Drew wins, and then 20 minutes later gets challenged by the big.
Well, so 20 minutes later he cuts a promo basically, blah blah blah, and then but I think Sarah Schreiber's interviewing him, and then you just hear, "Well, it's the big show, boom boom, it's the big." But he comes out, basically McIntyre, Big Show provoked McIntyre into giving him a match. Yeah, and so Big Show's reason for basically doing this was he wants for McIntyre was to make the champion show he had what it truly takes to win the title, and he certainly had his fun with the wounded title holder. The answer turned out to be resigning. Yes, McIntyre robbed from his deficit to down the world's hardest athlete with a claymore to retain the championship. So it was a title match as well.
I think this would have been hilarious if Big Show had won.
Oh, imagine.
Like, it shouldn't happen, but look, this is WWE. Like, I could well imagine them just giving Big Show the win, but this was weird. I feel like with Big Show, they just whenever Big Show's available, they just go right. You're just going to be in the main event. And what the main event is? Yeah, well,
to be heel or face.
Big Show's a face now for life.
I quite like it because Big Show said your win over Brock was a fluke.
Oh no, wait, was he heel?
Yeah, he was heel.
Oh right, yeah. In that case, yeah, fair enough. They do flip a coin.
And then, after years being called the future, sort of he's proved to Big Show that he is the future, and it wasn't a fluke. Have you watched the new Netflix show, The Big Show?
I don't have Netflix. Never have.
If you can, watch The Big Show. It's on Netflix. I think it's called The Big Show Show.
Yeah, it's called The Big Show Show.
It genuinely is not bad. It's your typical American family TV show. Big Show plays the dad, but they never call him Paul White. They call him Show. Either Dad or Show. They never call him Paul. He's got a wife. He's got 3 children. It's all about how his best mate in the show is Urkel. Is it Urkel from Family Matters? The famous guy does Did I Do That?
Nothing.
If you've heard of him. He's like a famous American TV show character. He was a famous kids actor, and he's in this. It's not really funny for someone of my age, but it's a bit stupid, but it's entertaining. It's quite funny. But if you can watch it, just watch a couple of episodes.
Well, I was just going to say, I was confused as to why this happens, and now you've brought that up, it's obviously to promote. That's what makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like they just had a look around, like, who's backstage? Anybody?
Who lives close? Who lives close? Right, you live in Tampa, don't you? Come on down.
Well, it was an unusual end to Raw, but it could have been worse.
It could have been a lot worse.
Drew's already got a title defense under his belt.
It does. Against the Big Show as well. And
it felt a little bit Money in the Bankish.
Yeah.
Like Drew, he's trying to capitalize on Drew, tired after his match. It was like a lesser version of Ziggler and Del Rio.
Mm-hmm. All right, episode of Raw. Just a lot of matches, building some new people up, new tag teams.
They are just killing time until they can get back in front of the crowd.
Well, have you heard what UFC have done? I've just got some information here. So UFC, Dana White. Hold up, I've just got the thingy. Kieran told us. UFC have secured a private island to put all their events on.
Wow, that is quite something.
That is mental. So, WWE, take note. You need to hire an island where you can do all your live shows. All your wrestlers live on there. They quarantine together. Can't go wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, like Bash at, I mean, I know they don't have the trademark, but Bash at the Beach.
Yeah, but Bash at the Beach every episode.
Every episode.
But yeah, that was Wrestling
Raw.
Corner. That was Raw. That's a Wrestling Corner. It was a 2 hour and it's 2 hour and 15 episode. But if you've not heard of us, we're the Wrestling Corner. We are on the Sports Corner YouTube channel. And I know you're wondering, well, Sports Corner, what other sports do you do? We do many others. On Monday, we have Josh's Hull career mode, where you can control it. You tell him who to buy. You tell him who to start. On Tuesday, you have the Wrestling Corner with me and Simon. We talk about your regular wrestling. Next big pay-per-view coming up will be Money in the Bank, so stay tuned as we'll do our predictions. We'll do our talks for that, and we'll give you everything for Raw, AEW, SmackDown, and NXT. On Wednesday, we have the Big Daddy. We have the Top Corner podcast, where it's a football one. This week, we are talking about the rest of the world and EFL Team of the Season, so we're blending them all together on Thursdays. We usually have the NFL Corner. It may be happening this week. We don't know. It's the problem with some of the stuff we're lucky with wrestling that we've still got it going. So if the NFL Corner may be happening, maybe not. On Fridays, we have the other episode, the second episode of the week of the Hull City Career Mode. So tune into that, tune into the Top Corner, tune into the Wrestling Corner, tune into the NFL Corner, tune into the Sports Corner. Anything else left to say, Simon?
No, just if by chance anybody hasn't watched the Boneyard match, just drink it in.
Every week, I think we should suggest just a random wrestling match, and I think this week it should be the guy versus the bear.
Chuck Wood versus a bear on Wrestle
Chuck
Talk.
Wood versus a bear.
92.
If you go try find that, I'll try find it after this episode.
It's about 2 hours in, I think.
But don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in, and goodbye.